be showing you guys how I'm going to be making my design for a black suit Spider-Man based off of the 2008 animated TV show. Now, I already have the shirt portion of it already sewn, so let's give you the basic rundown. Pretty much get black fabric, a shirt, and trace around the exterior of the shirt, making sure not to trace in the lines of the entire shirt with the sleeves of the shirt because they'll be separate. After that, cut them out of the black spandex fabric and make sure to sew along the edges except for the main bottom portion and of course the sleeves and the neck portion. Well, for me I had to do a separate sleeve, so I had to do a bit of extra work, but that's optional. Other than that, you pretty much are good to go with the spandex fabric. I tested it before to make sure it fits, and initially I actually did have sleeves on these because I sewed it to it being one piece, like with the sleeves and all already attached with no sew lines connected, but I'm upgrading this and I'm going to be working on the sleeves. So I'm actually going to be utilizing this drawing that I did of my design for the Black Suit Spider-Man, based off of the Spectacular Spider-Man TV show. I am going to be adding some of my own elements, like a different spider logo on the front. The back logo is going to be the same, but the genuine pattern and look is going to be as accurate as possible. Don't mind the fact that in the drawing it's gray over black. I didn't have a white pen to outline the webs, but it is going to be a black suit Spider-Man nonetheless. So actually, before we actually continue with this video, the first things you're going to need are of course black fabric, some scissors, a sewing machine, black thread, a white pen, a white deco fabric pen, which is pretty much fabric ink that you can easily just draw onto the fabric. And you're also going to need this is the Tulip Slick brand puff paint. This is actually one that has a really narrow tip. I don't know if you can see on the interior, but it's a really narrow tip compared to the other brand, the Puff 3D paint, puff paint, whereas this one has a wider tip. This one has a more narrow tip. So I'm using this type of puff paint for the details, and of course you're going to be needing, I'm not even in frame, you're also going to be needing some white fabric for the lenses. You could use plastic, which is like the mesh material that goes over like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a patterned type plastic. But I'm actually going to be utilizing fabric, white fabric, which is what I used for some of my other Spider-Man masks that I have made in the past. But without further ado, let's actually get straight into the official making of the costume. Now, I already did the front portion or the main shirt portion of the costume. I've already explained it in the beginning of the video on how to do this. So let's actually get on to making the sleeves. Now, I already have the sleeves here, but I'm going to be utilizing these as a template to make newer ones, because these ones are garbage. So I'm going to be utilizing one of them as a template. Need some light on. Actually, I can do one better. There we go. Better lighting. So, stinking bird. I'm just trying to find a spot where I initially cut the fabric off at. The main issue with having large things of fabric is not knowing where you cut the fabric off at. I think I have extra fabric in my closet. Hold on. fabric. And the rest of this video will be voiceovered, most likely. Actually, fix the camera down. Yeah, this ain't gonna do it actually. Okay, now that the entire costume is sewn together now, the important thing is to ensure that it fits, and also to understand the design you want to utilize for puff painting. Now, I did a lot of puff painting when off screen, and this is what it is so far. I puff painted the entire front I just gotta wait a couple hours for it to dry, and then I will be working on the back. So I puff painted it like an hour ago, so like I got 3 more hours, roughly 3 more hours to go. And in the meantime, I'm going to look for a pattern on my phone to trace out the mask, and then I'll do the legs, the gloves, and the boots, because like the gloves and boots are the easiest to do. The mask is a little bit complicated because I tried using a particular pattern before, but it wouldn't work. So I'm going to utilize a different method, or a different pattern I should say, and then after that I will work on the lenses. Now the lenses I'm not going to make like bulky like how my Sam Raimi Spider-Man costume had, where it was like blocky or it stood out. I'm going to try and make it as flush as possible while still having that dynamic shape. So I'm going to just find the white sheer fabric that I have, and then after that I'm going to trace out the pattern for the lenses, and then I'll get started on working on the base of the mask. Okay, it's currently day 2 on making the black suit Spider-Man costume from the Spectacular Spider-Man TV show, and I managed to fully puff paint the entire thing, both front and back, minus the back spider logo. I am going to try and utilize a different method other than just puff painting it directly onto the fabric. I'm actually going to utilize a piece of paper to act as a base of the emblem, and then I'll puff paint it and then glue it onto the back of the dog making noise. And I will glue it onto the back of the shirt piece, so that it's the right size on the right spot. And I test fitted it before and it fits perfectly. The front logo is perfect. I changed up the design a little bit by making the legs a little bit longer. It's a little uneven on the design a little bit for the left and right side of the upper legs, but it's not that much of a big problem because it still has the genuine design of the black suit Spider-Man. And I even yesterday off camera I started working on the mask. I had to change the mask. I had to change some stuff on it, such as the top. It was a little loose on the top where it was like really wrinkly, so I cut a slot on the top of the head that goes this way, and I sewed it together so that it straightens out the entire top part of the mask, and now it's a really smooth mask. I also cut in a little chin area so that it automatically thins out the neck. So yeah, and taking it off, putting it on. Well, taking it off is a little bit harder than putting it on, but it's a perfect fit. I'm going to be using a mannequin head for this to get the puff painting on, and then after that I'm going to get started with doing the lenses. And for the gloves, I'm actually not going to be making them fully out of spandex fabric because I have old marching band gloves that are like these, and since the sleeves on the costume are longer and they go over my hand, I'm going to be wearing these underneath, and they fit perfectly, and the rest of the glove is just going to be hidden underneath the sleeve of the costume. And I am going to puff paint these and it has a little bit of texture on it. I don't know if you can see. It has a little bit of texture between goes between the 4 knuckles, so that'll help with it'll be a bit of a guide. But I am not gonna puff paint the palm. I'm gonna give it more like the 2002 Sam Raimi look, where the palm has no web design. The wrist down is gonna have a bit of web design. The fingers are gonna have the web design, and the back of the hand is gonna have the web design. But other than that, the palm is just gonna be straight black. And this is a different material. I think it's like regular, like I don't know what kind of fabric it is. I think it's the same one that's like for shirts. But yeah, I'll be using these gloves for the costume, so I don't waste any more fabric. And so I don't have to keep on digging through my stuff to search for my old template for a hand. And like I stated before, for the lenses, I'm going to be utilizing fabric for the lenses, and on the drawing that I did, they're a really dynamic shape. They're almost a curved teardrop shape, so I'll have to do a couple of sketches onto some paper or cardboard, and then after that cut it out, trace it onto the fabric, and then transfer that fabric onto the mask itself. I'm not going to make a outlining of the lenses because I want it to be flush against the entire mask. But I will be utilizing some puff paint to make it look solid, and so that it looks somewhat one piece instead of the fabric just being loose, the lenses being a loose sort of fabric. So that's what I'm going to do with the lenses, and then after that I will work on the pants and the boots. So, alright, so now you have the main part of the costume done. It should look something like this. Now, this front logo I did was based off of the Spectacular Spider-Man TV show, whereas the back logo was based off of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man logo. Back logo, I should say. And I actually decided for the back logo to do the outlining because I think the black against black ratio looks a lot better. So this is what the costume looks like in general. And off camera, I believe, I did the mask. This is what the mask looks like. I will have to go over this with a bit of white paint to make the lenses look more accurate to the webbing, but this is what it should look like with the upper portion of the costume on. So this is what it should look like. The lenses, I used a plastic. You can still see a little bit of my skin, but it's not too bad. I actually added in the webbing before I did the mask itself, or the lenses themselves. I used contact cement for sorry about that. I used contact cement to hold the two pieces together, and then I added some hot glue on the edges so that it would hold, and I also added a slab back here so that it makes it seemingly flat instead of it being too wrinkly. There are some wrinkles that I didn't want to handle, but that's fine. But yeah, this is what the mask and the front costume or top costume should look like. The leggings, I'm going to be using black spandex leggings. I'm not going to make them out of the fabric because I want to save a little bit of fabric. However, in the next part of the video, I will be working on the boots. And I already have bases for the gloves as well, which are these black marching band gloves that I have from my older brother. And they are perfect black. They match up with the spandex black perfectly on camera and in person. And I'm actually not going to paint these black or with webbing on it real quick for a moment, because I don't have a mannequin hand to put these on, but they are going to tuck underneath the sleeves of the costume. And yeah, so this is pretty much the majority of the costume finished, minus the boots. I really do like how I did the spider logo on the back. It's perfectly puff painted fully. I like how I did the front logo. It's nice. I like how it has that like tension of it looking like Venom mixed with the black suit Spider-Man in some aspects. And I really like how I made this second remake of this entire top costume. If you want actually a tutorial on how to make the pants of a Spider-Man costume, or any costume in general, I will leave a link to the description of a YouTube channel. I can't recall what the name of the YouTuber is off the top of my head right now, but when I upload this video, I will leave a link to the description of, I will leave a link to the YouTuber's channel. You can watch all his videos. He makes a lot of Spider-Man costumes, masks, Flash costumes, anything that's DC or Marvel related, and he will give a full rundown as to how to make the pants of any costume, as well as boots if you want to make your own like pull-up boots. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know this is not what the full costume that you guys want. From time to time I will change it up on how I wear this costume, but all in all, this is my design for the black suit Spider-Man or inspired, I should say, by the 2008 Spectacular Spider-Man TV show. And I hope you all enjoy this little video. I know it's offset from different time frames for me because I had a lot of stuff going on. I put off doing the back logo for a while because I had some stuff going on, but also, if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram and Twitter, where I will be doing poses in this costume. I will be doing poses in this costume. I'll use some Photoshop through my phone to show off this costume. But yeah, like I said before, if you like this video, drop a like down below, comment down below what version of the black suit Spider-Man is your favorite, either from Spectacular Spider-Man or any version of Spider-Man in general. And also let me know which version of Spider-Man is your favorite. And me personally, since I'm on the topic of that, my favorite would have to still be the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, aka Tobey Maguire. He's a legend, and as we all say about legends never die. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.